pleasure. Now tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning, we're going to know how many jobs the United States added in July despite the COVID-19 surge that we're experiencing. Remember, the June report was hailed as the beginning of the end of the economic meltdown. Why? Because, well, back then the unemployment rate went from 15% to like 11%. 5,000 Americans were hired back, mostly due to the lockdown ending in most states. So what's the expectation for tomorrow? Economists are saying somewhere around 1.7 more Americans will have gone back to work in July, which would mean this quick recovery, this V-shaped thing that a lot of people are hoping for, that may not be on the horizon, not if we're going from 5 million to 1.7, right? But let me bring in an expert. John Grace knows a lot more about this than I do. He directs Investors Advantage, and he's good enough to join us now. I know the numbers aren't in, but we're getting some pretty good indications of what might happen. First of all, let me just ask you that. John, what do you think the numbers are going to look like tomorrow morning at 8:30?
Well, I think they're going to look as good as they might. Probably won't be as depressing as we might imagine. We haven't seen the end here. Of course, this COVID thing is a disaster of epic proportions. But let's recognize when we look at the numbers, whatever they might be, Rick, they kind of are the average, which is a good way to look at them. But when we look at how these this COVID-19 is impacting Correct. I mean, for example, just to look at the state of Illinois, if I'm not mistaken, we all remember last year we were crowing about 4% unemployment. And there are two things here. One, we need to look at the quality of that employment, the quality of those jobs, the quality of those incomes. And then in the state of Illinois, when nationally, I think we were at 4% unemployment, best number we've seen in about 50 years. In the state of Illinois, the number for Black folks is more like 10%. So, that's graphically different, 4% to 10%. 10%, if that were national, we would not be doing backflips.
Over to my home state, experts in California are warning of a looming eviction cliff as tens of thousands of people with no jobs and no safety net could become homeless. Now, in the Golden State, about 1 in 7 residents or households are renters. But it's not just Californians at risk of homelessness associated with this pandemic. Experts at the Aspen Institute found that around 23 million Americans could be at risk of eviction by September.
Stressful doesn't even describe it. It's scary.
What do I do to be able to survive and not deplete the limited savings that I have?
I don't know how long they're going to let us get away with not paying our mortgage.
It's very hard to see that we won't be getting the money anymore. And we don't know when we're going to come back to work.
I should be in Canada right now, but of course the Canadian border's been closed, so there's no way to get there. So that's not possible.
We specialize in transporting booths and LCD screens and high-touch kind of specialty materials to trade shows. We don't know what it's going to look like if or when it does come back. So for us, I mean, our business is basically post-vaccine, post-treatment.
It never came to my mind that this thing will happen, and it will go for so long. My wife had 2 major surgeries, so she has to take 2 types of medicine every single day. Insurance that we have right now, if I want to buy it, it will cost me $1,000 to $1,200 a month.
I was not eligible for unemployment. I was shocked that I was not eligible in January, February, and then COVID hitting. It even made the situation extremely, even more panic for me, not knowing what was going to be doing.